Hi guys, so a while ago, Inside Out 2 released, and so I went to go watch it, and it kind of feels really shallow, and I think it was just another one of Disney's cash grabs. Okay, now let's get into my problems with this movie. For some reason, Joy's hair, it just glows. Her hair has a blue hue around it, like in this scene, where she's throwing away all of these memories that are waiting on Riley to loosen the load. And I'm thinking, why? You're already sending all those memories you made that day off to long term. Doing that is redundant. Never mind. So since Riley's a teenager, of course, she has to have braces, especially with like the braces. They're animated very weirdly. And the voice acting, like I expect to hear some sort of authentic braces voices, because this is not it. It doesn't sound like this.
I'm too gross to go to camp or anywhere ever again!
It should sound like this.
This morning our house became infested with an acute febrile contagious virus, or as it's known on the street, the flu.
But no. By the way, the inclusion of braces is really weird, especially in the light of like much better technology, like Invisalign. With Invisalign, and this is drama-free, faster than braces, Invisalign. And Invisalign has sure done me wonders, so I can't have that nerdy-ass voice you heard from me before. Another bad thing about the animation is that there are countless shots of her, like, working out, and she's obviously bunched in sweat because the team felt the need to include sweat. And it just looks really disgusting. Please don't do this again. So now people are working for like 2 years to make a movie that could have easily been made in like 2 hours on a camcorder, which, you know, it just hurts, man. So with the plot, basically, Riley has made some new friends now. She just turned 13, and she's going to be drafted into a new hockey team because now she's soon going to be too old for her old one, and she's also going to be in high school in probably around 6 months. So along the drive there with her friends, she realizes that her friends aren't actually going to go to the same high school as her. So she'll have to make some new ones for high school. So they arrive at the camp and they just sit there. They just keep us there for the whole movie. So the coach is revealed to be really mean. She takes their phones away and she makes them practice a lot, and I mean a lot. So then she meets up with this group of older girls from the high school that she's going to be going to, so that she won't be lonely when she enters high school. And so then she completely forgets about her old friends. They also tell her about this red book that the coach has, and she writes down which students she's going to select for the next year's hockey team and which ones she won't. So in the middle of the night, she does some Mission Impossible bullcrap to try and read this journal, and she does. And so she sees that she's in the losing category, so she gets up at like 5 a.m. to go train, and so later that day, she bumps into her friend, and I mean literally bumps in the middle of the game. She freaking KOs her. It's really abusive. And so then she realizes how much of a terrible friend she's been and apologizes. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, the emotions inside her head have been completely displaced because there are some new emotions which have taken over and kicked them out and literally put them in a glass jar. And they break out. And so they travel to the back of the mind where Riley's old sense of self was, because there's this new thing in the second movie called the sense of self. So when anxiety and the other emotions first arrive, anxiety rips the sense of self out and just tosses it to the back of the mind. And so now they're going over to the back of the mind to go get it and get themselves recalled back to the brain to stop anxiety's antics. There's this massive pile at the back of the mind of all these memories, and so they basically cause an avalanche of memories, and it flows into this lake thing underneath that big emotions tower. They defeat anxiety, and Riley meets back up with her friends. from the get-go, this is really weird. Okay, first of all, there's a crucial detail that this film is missing. Because in the original, Riley has a redhead friend called Meg. She lives back in Minnesota where Riley used to live, but then she moved to San Francisco. But Riley occasionally calls her on her laptop. But Meg is completely absent from this movie. Like, I'm just not buying it that Riley has moved on from Minnesota, even though she's only been in San Francisco for like 2 years at this point. But hey, go off, I guess. You know that lake underneath the tower that I mentioned earlier? Here's the thing. Remember the last movie? That was not there in the last movie. Instead, it was the dump. You know, the dump. What happened, Disney? Oh my god. Anyway, remember this scene from the original movie?
Pretend to be Joy.
Won't it be great to be back out on the ice? Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Did you catch that? That was sarcasm. But we don't see a massive gorge opening up to swallow our main character's whole. Stop making stuff up! I mean, this is still creative, but I just feel like you shouldn't be making up new stuff for a sequel because it's already established in the first movie that there is nothing of the sort. I mean, sure, you can argue that, just because they didn't show us, that doesn't mean it wasn't there to begin with. No, I don't think so. Even if you take all these inaccuracies out of the equation, it still is a really boring movie that left me so empty once it finished. And as always, I'll cherish our time together, and also, please subscribe!